Realme C31 review, offers good long-lasting battery in a stylish design. Chinese phone maker Realme has recently announced two new budget Android phones, the Realme C35 and Realme C31, and it's the Realme C31 that's the cheaper of the two. Going for a mere £129, the Realme C31 sounds like a steal. That's roughly one-third of the price of an entry-level iPhone SE. This price tag will likely be music to the ears of those who just want a phone to do the basics, or anyone who wants a burner phone for festivals and holidays. It's certainly a very attractive price, but what do you get exactly? A big 4890 mAh battery which Realme says will give you 45 days worth of standby power, and a multi-lens camera unit which promises detailed wides and close-ups. Design-wise, the Realme C31 is slim and compact, so despite it coming with a long-lasting battery, it should slip comfortably into pockets and bags. Budget phones can quite often be bulky and unsightly, but the Realme C31 is none of these things. The front features simple black plastic while the sides and rear feature colored plastic with a lenticular-style finish, either silver or dark green. Measuring 8.4 mm deep and weighing 197 grams, it's a slender phone that's easy to hold and operate in one hand, although the smooth sides mean that it has the tendency to slip out of your grasp if you're not careful. As with the Xiaomi Poco M4 Pro 5G, the Realme C31's fingerprint scanner is built into the power button, which is set on the right-hand edge of the phone. The 6.5 inches display is bordered by a thin bezel that's taller at the top, where the front camera unit is housed in a teardrop-shaped recess, and the bottom. At a glance, nothing gives away the fact that the Realme C31 is a budget phone. The Realme C31's display resolution of 1600x720 is pretty low by today's standards but matches similarly cheap phones like the Nokia G21. Despite this, the LCD display of the Realme C31 isn't all terrible. Brightness is adequate in most situations indoors and outdoors, and there's no horrible, tacky, overly glossy finish here, meaning you'll be able to read messages on all but the sunniest of days. As the Realme C31 costs under £150, it shouldn't come as a surprise to learn that it's not a high performer, but it is capable of doing the basics. If what you mainly need from a phone is for it to browse the web, check social media, send messages on WhatsApp and stream music, then it will suffice. On the subject of browsing and streaming media, you should note that the Realme C31 is a single-band Wi-Fi device. This means you can only access the older, slower, and more congested 2.4 GHz radio frequency. The high-speed lanes on the 5 GHz and newer 6 GHz motorways are just not available to you. It's really not much cop at gaming, it has to be said, as those scores above suggest. Polytopia, a low-polygon game that's not very resource-intensive, is perfectly playable. However, Civilization Revolution 2 is hard-going. There's noticeable chug even at the early stages, before loads of sprites start populating the screen. I didn't even bother attempting to play Civ 6. Idle clickers and puzzle games will play well enough here, and needless to say, the Realme C31 can definitely handle the daily Wordle challenge, but not much above that. Let's not beat around the bush, the cameras of the Realme C31 are not very good. They're only really capable of producing acceptable results in well-lit areas, and if you've got a very steady hand. Realme promises decent battery performance from the C31, and I can safely say that you will get a basic working day's worth of power out of it. If you're working at your desk for the standard 8 hours, taking calls, streaming music on Spotify to a Bluetooth speaker or headphones, you'll be able to comfortably get through the day. I would finish most working days with around 40 to 50% of power left. Running the PC Mark battery drain test gave us an impressive result of 10 hours and 19 minutes, which broadly tallied with my day-to-day experience. It's quite slow to charge back up, with the 10W charger taking around 2 hours 43 minutes to get the Realme C31 up to 100% from empty. There's no fast charging here. If you're used to charging phones up overnight, this won't be of much concern, but if you needed to quickly charge your phone up from your desk because you've been caught between meetings all day, you might find this slow going. The Realme C31 uses a custom user interface, UI R Edition, on top of Android 11. UIR Edition looks and functions a lot like stock Android and is therefore clean, stripped down and easy to get comfortable with. There are a couple of uninstallable apps, Weather and Compass, which is slightly annoying, but they don't take up huge amounts of space, and given that storage can be expanded by up to 1 TB via microSD, this is not a big deal. The Realme C31 is available to buy directly from Realme now. In the UK, the 4GB RAM and 64GB storage version is priced at £129. Silver and dark green versions can also be picked up from Amazon UK for the same price. UK pricing and release date information for the cheaper 3GB RAM and 32GB storage variant was not available at the time of publication. Realme has confirmed that the C31 won't be launched in the US or Australia. Check out our chart of the best budget phones to see what other options you have. When considering buying a cheap phone that looks as good as the Realme C31 and delivers great battery performance for such a low price, you need to ask yourself, what's missing? And in this case, there are a few omissions which might give buyers pause. These are a low-resolution display, poor cameras, single-band Wi-Fi and 10W charging. All of these drawbacks might not be deal breakers for you, and might even be forgivable.